Are you looking for the simple, most perfect exercise to help you treat and prevent osteoporosis? Then keep watching. So why could hopping be such a perfect osteoporosis activity? Well, first of all, because it is a high impact activity, which provides mechanical stress to the joints, which stimulates the bone building cells called osteoblasts, especially in the hips and femoral neck, leading to an increase in bone mineral density, which protects against osteoporosis and minimizes the chances for fractures. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marius Visser. I'm a biokineticist at the Nimabin Oncology, and today I'm going to show you one simple exercise that you can do in the comfort of your home that's going to help you stop osteoporosis. So are you ready for your jump training? Let's begin. Let me just say out from the start, this might not be for everybody, so if you feel that there is some reason that you cannot do any hopping or jumping, please speak to your healthcare provider first. But you will benefit from this protocol that I've put together that is going to take you through from the very, very basic preparing your body for taking impact all the way through to where you will be doing your first jump, maybe even off a height. So the other reason we're doing jump training is so that you can incorporate that into your already existing strength training protocol. I'll leave a link up here if you haven't checked out my strength training protocol yet. So to start off, I'm first going to show you how to warm up your body and get your body ready to actually take impact, which is also part of the first phase of learning how to jump. And to do that, we're first going to remove our shoes and get a floor mat. And there we go. So to start off, we are going to face the door, grab hold of the door, and the first thing we're going to do is we're first going to warm up the ankles. And what we do there is we get a stretch and we place the heel behind us, pressing the heel down, keeping the knee straight, and we just push into the ground until you feel a nice stretch on the calf and even possibly down into the Achilles tendon, and we hold for 20 to 30 seconds. A nice deep breath in and out. Always try and relax when we do stretching work. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we change. Also, the thicker the mat, the less impact is going to be on the feet. You still want the ground reactive forces to push back up against your feet. That's actually the reason why we're doing the hop, because we want to try and create as much impact as we can. But for a beginner, and me just showing you first, how do we get started? We're going to use a mat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There are also questions that come out and say, well, can't you start on a trampoline? And even though you get different benefits on the trampoline, muscle endurance, a little bit of muscle strength, ankle and foot health, all the basic stuff, is not enough to actually give you that micro strain units or impact on the bone or stress on the bone to actually give you the benefit of growing new bones. So we need a hard surface. So the next thing we do is we are going to raise our heel on the one foot, and we are going to make small circles and loosen up all those ankle ligaments and structures, and just roll the ankle around 10 times, and then we change direction and we just do the other side. Also loosening up some of those toes. Some toes may not have moved as often as we used to, because when wearing shoes, your toes don't really do a lot and change direction. So we want to make sure we really get into all those structures. 10 and change. And you can even roll the toes over onto the mat and almost like bend them through their full range of motion, and also keep them flat so that you can roll over them. 8, 2 more, 9 and 10. And you can also move on to the outside and inside of your feet. You want to roll them out as if you want to twist or roll your feet over to the outside. Some of you might feel that it's a little bit more strain, but in the beginning, if it's very tight, just move slowly, or you can just do it with one foot so that you don't put as much weight on your feet. With one foot, you can manage how much you put on your feet. All right, and we just move them in and out, in and out. Okay. All right, now we grab hold, we soften our knees, and we place our feet a little bit wider than hip, say about shoulder. And then from there, we look straight ahead. I don't want you to look at your feet. I want you to go down as if you're sitting and then come up onto the heels as fast as you can. Breathe in and out, all the way holding so that we control our balance. And once you feel comfortable, you may remove your hands a little bit, but keep them close. There, okay, so now we're feeling, I'm actually doing this by myself. I'm gently touching the door frame. Okay, this is not a squat. This is teaching you how to jump and land. This is the explosive part, and then coming down slowly and fast up. Okay, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. For somebody that hasn't jumped in a very long time and they're not sure whether their ankles or ligaments or knees will tolerate the jumping, this is always a good start. It's always a good idea to prep the neuromuscular system for what is about to come. If you just jump without any form of training, because jumping is actually a perishable skill. You will lose the ability to jump as you get older. And relax. So I can actually feel all the muscles in my calves, ankles, quads, and even glutes and hamstrings are starting now to warm up a bit. So for some of you, this will be the end of your training session for the day. Go on to your other exercises, your strength training, your bands, your dumbbells. So repeat this for 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions, 3 to 4 times a week. The next one, we are going to move into a single leg hop. So from here, exactly the same position, except we put our feet close together. And from there, we're going to lift one and we just do a single. And we start learning how to put stress on one leg. And we're only going to do 10 on the side. 6, 7. Again, you're going to go down slowly. 7, 3 more. 8, and 2 more. 9, slowly down. And 10, and change. We're going down, up 1. And a very small, you can see I use a lot of my hips. I'm pushing back and up 4. I'm not doing everything just on my knees like that. I'm using my glutes because I want to be able to lift eventually, but you're not going to lift. You're just pushing off the floor. We're trying to increase 9, 1 more, and 10, and relax. The reason we do this off the floor without lifting, for some of you it's almost impossible to lift off the floor as yet, because your angular velocity in your joints are not fast enough yet. You need, I think, between 300 and 400 degrees per second of movement in the joints for you actually to lift the floor. And for that, you need stronger muscles. So now we're going to get into the actual jump, which is part of this study in this protocol. So from there, we're going to go down, slowly breathe in and out, down, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. So we rest and we repeat this another 2 to 3 times. So the next exercise is going to be a little bit harder. It's going to involve you jumping on one leg 50 times. So to do that, we are going to simply stand. Again, you can hold on to something if you feel you are not supported yet. And very simple, you don't have to jump too high. It is just there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 30. It's okay if you move around. 40, 50, good. And we change the other side. Oh, I can feel those calf and feet muscles are working. 10. You can see I'm keeping everything nice and soft. I'm not lifting that high off the ground. And even though my feet are moving a little bit left to right, forward and backward, that's okay. I think we're on 40, 50, there we go. And relax, whoa, shake it out. And that was the single leg hop protocol, 50 repetitions, 3 to 4 days a week. So the next one is called a drop box. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be standing on the box and we're going to be just stepping off it and landing nice and soft, under control, and then we get back up again. So only thing we're doing is we're increasing the height. Instead of your normal hopping, which is approximately 5 centimeters, we've now raised the box to 10 centimeters. So that is obviously going to increase your body weight by 3 to 4 times body weight, which is going to put a lot more stress and strain on the lower body, which is a good thing if you want to try and build up your bone mineral density, strength, explosive power, proprioception, all the other good stuff. So from here, we're going to step onto the box, and all we're doing is we're not going to jump up and down. We're just going to jump down and then land in a almost like a partial squat position under control. So ready, relax the body, soften the knees, breathe in and out, and land, and back up, and again. So now we're dropping and we are increasing our body weight for up to 3 to 4 times your body weight. So the ground forces or the ground reactive forces coming through from the floor is going to be a lot higher, and I can actually feel it. And I'm landing always on any jump front foot first, and then decelerating or slowing down the heel movement to the floor with the assistance of the quad muscles, glutes and hamstrings. Okay, let's go for 5 more. You see that I'm readying myself when I'm jumping off. Okay, last 3. 2 more. And last one. And stick the landing. So I've taken you through jump training from an absolute beginner to advanced. So there's no reason why you should stop at a 10 centimeter box, but again, safety should be your first protocol. If you do the first 2 exercises or the first 3 exercises from a double leg to a single leg hop, that should be good for you. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below and tell me how your hopping exercises are going. See you next time.